Alright, welcome to today's video. This is gonna be a video where I have no cuts, and it's most likely gonna be the most resourceful video you will see about how to start day trading. And if I am wrong, you could comment and dislike saying that no, this is not one of the most resourceful videos of day trading. And if I am right, all I need is your subscription. So what we're gonna start off today, and this is straight off the dome, everything is off the dome. Today we're just gonna be going over, I just have some things I want to touch upon. Today I'll be going over like what websites you guys should be using for trading, which is kind of the easier stuff, like the more known stuff. I'll be talking about strategies, indicators, pairs, like funded accounts if you have no money, and I'll also be giving you guys resources to learn a lot more. So just hours and hours and hours of content in order that you guys should watch, as well as cheap tricks. So if you don't got any bread, I can show you guys how to make the most of tradingview.com. So Firstly, the website that you guys want to go to is tradingview.com. Okay, wait, fuck, that's gonna take me back to thing. So the website that you guys want to go to is tradingview.com. All right, so let's leave. This is the website. You'll be greeted to this type of screen. Basically, what you guys would do is make an account. You guys create an account, and then you trade on this. So this in itself is not does not put you into what's it called? It doesn't let you trade. That's not what's happening. This is not where you trade, but this is more where you kind of view the markets. And then you can also connect your brokers here to trade. And a broker is just a middleman that allows you to go from your order, and it just like places your order for you, right? Some of them take commission, and some of them put it into your actual trade. They put the commission into your trade. So for example, let's say you're trading a Forex pair, which is currency. You're trading currency. It's all in commission. So when you buy something, there's a little bit of spread, and then they kind of add more to the spread. So by spread, it means that, like, let's say I bought it at this level, or I sold it at this level right here. Because it's trying to like find a place to sell, and not like everybody's like buying or selling. Because it's trying to find a place to sell, it might catch you down to here. So technically this is where you entered the trade. Even though you placed an order here, it caught you down here. That's more of like the technical stuff. You don't really have to worry about it unless like you're trading Forex. There's not much spread on NASDAQ and stuff. So now so you have the website. The brokers you can find on tradingview.com. It gives you really reputable brokers. Some of them being forex.com, Oanda, Interactive Brokers. Those are the ones I recommend, but just make sure that you do your own due diligence. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is just what pairs you should be trading. So I mentioned something about Forex, and I mentioned something about indices, like indexes and like futures and stuff, right? So sorry, I have something in my eye. Here's the thing. I would always go for futures. I like futures. It's just cleaner to trade. There's a lot more volume. There's like a lot more like predictability. But the thing is, futures, the way I see it, is futures is a ranked version of trading. So if I were you guys and you guys don't know anything about trading, I would start off with Forex. Specifically Euro USD. So Euro USD. So the reason why I was trade with this is because this is kind of like, it's not too volatile. It's still kind of predictable. You could trade something like this, right? I wouldn't touch gold, right? That's a commodity. I wouldn't touch gold because of how how you kind of need more experience to tell how the gold market is moving. And yeah, Euro USD, GJ, like, which is GDP JPY, or AUD USD, which is Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Those are very good starting pairs. After that though, I would move on to NASDAQ, NQ, ES, whatever, right? But here's the thing, here's the kicker. Unless you have the premium plan of TradingView, and as well as you add a monthly order for just live data, you are always going to be 10 minutes behind of what the market is actually doing, right? That's if you're trading NQ. And this is where the cheap stuff comes in, where I'm about to tell you guys we could get a bang for your buck, make the most out of tradingview.com, is instead of using NQ, instead of viewing the charts of NQ, view the charts of US NAS 100, right? It's specifically the Oanda charts. Why? Well, first of all, there's a 5-second delay rather than 10-minute. This and NQ have very similar movements, right? It's very similar. This and NQ is super similar. If you see somebody trading NQ, like the futures, and you're trading this, it's gonna be the same trades. You guys are gonna take the same trades, right? You're gonna take the same longs, same shorts, whatever. It's literally exactly the same. The only difference is this is more like a, I'm not actually 100% sure, but it's kind of more like a Forex pair, right? You're trading with Oanda. That's the only issue. But everything else is literally the same. So if you guys don't have the live data, I'll be trading US NAS 100. It's only, what's it called? 5-second delay rather than a 10-minute delay. I would rather have that. Okay. Now, another cheap trick is I'm going to put you guys on is basically you want to have two charts open at the same time. The reason is to spot any SMTs. SMTs are just divergences between two correlating pairs. So let's say NASDAQ is going up and ES is going down. It's statistically proven from time and time that when NASDAQ goes up, ES also goes up. So if NASDAQ is going up but ES is going down, that's a divergence between the pairs. And you can use that information to make a decision based off of where you think the market's going to go. All right. Now, you can technically have the charts and then just kind of swap through it like this, but this is kind of tedious to do, right? Yeah, you could spot like differences. Like for example, right here, there's an SMT. If you guys spotted that, see how there's like a difference in the markets. Wait, go down. See how this one went down, but the other one went up. This one made a lower low, and the other one made a higher low. But this is kind of like, if you don't have the trained eye, you wouldn't be able to spot this. That's why you need two charts open at the same time. This is where the cheap stuff comes in. If you get the browser, so you don't use Google Chrome anymore, that's the only downside. But again, why would you use Google Chrome? It takes up so much of your RAM. If you get Opera, not Opera GX, just Opera, they have this feature where you can open up two things at the same time. Two charts, not two charts, but two web browsers at the same time. So let's say on one of them, I open up the S&P 500, which is basically ES. And on the other one, I open up NASDAQ. I could grab the S&P 500, move to NASDAQ, and then do this. Boom. Bang for your buck. And then full screen both of them. And now you have two charts open at the same time. And you can easily spot the disparities and then like the differences between them. That's cool, right? You can just check the time. The only difference between this and premium is that when I move my mouse over here on NASDAQ, there's like a movement over here. So you can kind of like align it up. But that's the only difference. But here, look, boom, you have two charts open at the same time. Amazing. Again, so much value in the 8-minute video. So that's like my last cheap trick I'll give you guys. There's more, but for that, I need a subscription. Like a YouTube subscription, not like buying like a mentorship or whatever. So I talked about the pairs, I talked about the websites, I talked about the brokers, I gave you guys cheap tricks. Now I want to give you guys like indicators, strategies, talk about what fundeds are, and give you guys some more resources to learn. Fundeds. Let's start with fundeds because it's the most easy thing to explain. Fundeds are basically, okay, let's say I'm poor, okay? This right here, this change right here is all I have to my name. I'm not going to be able to make any money off the markets. Hell, I might not even be able to enter the markets with this amount of money, right? And if I did enter the markets, which would be like most likely Forex and not futures, because futures you need a little more margin being how much money you put in. If I have no money at all to my name and I can't get a loan from the bank, and I need my money from my job to pay the rent or whatever, and I don't have enough money to put into the markets, this is where fundeds come in. Fundeds are basically these firms that give you margin to trade with on a simulated account. And they make their money in various ways. They make their money from people failing to fund it, which I'll get into. They have I think they have different like order bookings. So it's like if you're a really shit trader, they trade opposite to what you're thinking. They have if you're a really good trader, they trade at the same time with what you're thinking. And if you're a phenomenal trader, they give you real money to trade with. But regardless, if you get a funded account and you follow their rules, you'll be getting a lot of money from it. So this is how the funded accounts work. I am a trader and I want to work with, let's say, Top Step. I'll give you guys the best funded right now. It's Top Step, my funded whatever. So there's my funded futures and my funded forex, depending on what you're trading. I'll take that. Top Step is only futures, by the way. And then there's another one. There's Apex funding. That's pretty good too. So I think it's cheaper. I'm kind of iffy about Apex. Top Step is the best one in my opinion. They don't really deny payouts. And last one would be it's not my name. Wait, fuck. It's like the most known one. It's not FX. Bro, what is it? Wait, I think it started with an O, or chill. Wait, let me pause this real quick. I genuinely forgot. Wait, bro, I'm so stupid. How did I forget? FTMO. Sorry about that. Just I blanked out. FTMO is also very reputable. They've been around for a while, but they're only for forex. So you go with these people and you pay them the amount of money that they're asking for. Some of them ask for monthly payments and then an activation fee, and others just ask for activation fee. If it's futures, they're most likely to ask for monthly payments. So you're paying them monthly until you pass the funded account, which means like you bring a certain amount of percentage that they're asking for without losing a certain amount of percentage that they're asking for. Each one is different. You have to do your own research. And then once you pass that stage, you pay the activation fee and they give you the margin to trade with. And that could range from like $10,000 if it's like a forex thing to like $100,000. Or like let's say it's Top Step, which is the one I use. It goes from $50,000 to $150,000. All right, so that gives you money to play with. That gives you money to trade with. With that money, you could be entering the markets and trading in the markets. Now, the crazy thing about the Top Step is instead of trading on TradingView, you can trade on their website, TopStepX, and it just gives you live data, and it automatically also gives you the ability to have multiple charts open at the same time. So I just really like Top Step. The only downside is that you're paying monthly, but again, that's how they have to make their money, right? Boom, there's that. Now strategy, this is I left this kind of near to the end for the people that have higher attention span. You guys are gonna get some sauce. Strategy, I trade ICT. When I first started, I was trading stuff like support and resistance, Elliott waves, whatever. I knew all the stuff, but ICT was the only one that actually worked for me. ICT is the most logical one to trade with as well. So there's a lot of things that you can look into for ICT. I have hella videos on my channel where I trade breakdown using ICT. I have a lot of videos where I teach concepts from ICT. However, here's where the free stuff comes in. If we go to my resources, so here's my community, right? There's like, we trade together. It's free, by the way. I'll leave this in the description. You guys could join up. We voice channel during the mornings whenever we trade, whatever, people are making profits every day, right? But if we go here to hashtag start here, I have linked an order of playlists that you should watch to understand trading better, and a lot of other stuff where you can take notes on, just good YouTubers that you guys should be watching that are good at teaching. And as well as over here, I have a lot of videos. So first of all, I have like some courses here, like some part of courses. Don't tell anyone. I have some order of like ICT. So like let's say you're looking for like to learn about market maker models. He's gonna tell you all the videos in the market maker model series. And me and Drax drop a lot of videos that are just really interesting and nice to watch and learn from. Okay? That is something that a lot of communities don't offer, and I'm offering it to you for free because I believe in the gift of giving. And also, again, I have some other plans for the server later on, which I've revealed before, right? I'm trying to grow the server, and then potentially once it reaches a certain level where I can't help everyone for free, have like a payment thing where you got everything else is still free, except you could join voice calls. It's like more of like a private group in the voice calls, and then we just trade together. All right, everything else will always remain free. And see, that's me being 100% transparent with you. I don't want to like lie. I don't want to be a liar, make any promises, whatever, right? So that's all the resources. And also in this place, we also have like ways to get like free Spotify Premium, all that stuff. There's hella resources on here. Just look through the channels. Now, indicators have a very bad reputation, because the indicators that most people use are poo indicators. It's poo. They like use like they have hella shit on their screen, whatever, right? Those are not the indicators I'm talking about. The indicators that I use is ICT kill zones and pivots. This just tells you the session times that are good to trade with. It just literally gives you good liquidity areas that like to target, right? Places that price might most likely come into. So like New York PM, I can assume maybe it's going to come up into New York high. And you can know just the timings of this and then just mark it out. That might be like more efficient. I mean, not efficient. That might be more like, logical. You don't need it. You don't need this type of stuff. But if you do have indicators or this indicator, it just saves a lot of time instead of like having to see what time frame this is and then marking out the highest point there. You just put this on, you click this button, it marks out everything for you. All right, it's called ICT kill zones and pivots, and then it's like brackets TFO. And then I also use new day opening gaps and new week opening gap by Kryptonite or Cryptonite. It just tells you where the new day opening gaps are, where the new week opening gaps are. It's just pretty nice to have, right? You don't really need to be marking out everything. It just tells you where everything is. Yeah, that's literally it. Those are the two indicators I use, and I don't even use them that often, but it just simplifies trading a lot. So that is all for today's video. This is pretty long video, 17 minutes long. Possibly by the time I get through the outro, it's gonna be like 18:30. Yeah, I hope I helped you guys to understand this. And like I said, this is most likely gonna be the most informative introduction video you'll ever get, ever. This is probably the most informative ICT or like trading beginner guide that you'll ever get. Rather than me selling something, like selling some bullshit, telling you guys, selling some dreams, selling some courses, selling whatever, promoting something, I'm just gonna tell you everything there is, and I'm gonna give it to you for free. The Discord, okay, this kind of like sounds like I'm promoting now, but the free Discord is in my description with all the free resources and everything. And also it's like a community. You can ask questions, I'll answer, my friends will answer, other traders will answer. It's just really nice place to be around. That's it. I hope I earned your subscription, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope this video doesn't flop though. Alright, see you.